Hey guys, and welcome back to part 2 for our simple introduction, where we will be adding in some nice fade in effects as well as a glow effect for our icon. So this will be an introduction to using keyframes, which you'll be using all the time with this program. So first of all, what are keyframes? Keyframes are used to specify the values for the animating properties at various stages of the animation. Alright, so basically what we're going to tell it to do is at the beginning where it pitches up, we are going to say we want it to be invisible, and at whatever time after we want it to be fully visible. So in that space where we tell it to be completely invisible to fully visible, it will fade. Alright, and that will work with moving it around and rotating. It will animate it automatically. So for the welcome text, okay, we will drop down our welcome. We'll drop down the transform because we're going to be working with its transform properties now. And here you will see the opacity. So now if we just take the opacity and put it to 0, it's now gone, and it's gone forever. Now this is why keyframes are so important. So we're going to come back to where it starts at the 1 second mark, and we're going to click this little stopwatch here. Okay, so we'll make the opacity 0. We'll click the stopwatch here, and you will see a little diamond icon pitch up. Great, so we'll zoom in a little bit. Okay, so we'll say we want it to be completely invisible, and when do we want it to be completely visible? So we can make it completely visible just before the second text shows up. Alright, so we'll come here and we'll make our opacity 100. Okay, and you will see another diamond pitch up. So now if you scroll through, you can see the nice fading effect that we have now. So now it takes about just over a second. We can actually, let's make it exactly one second to fade in. We want all of our text to have the same fading time. So we can just click and drag and select our 2 keyframes here. Make sure you don't click and drag all of the options, all of these values. We just want the opacity. Your Control C to cut, or Control C to copy, sorry. We'll come to the beginning of our 2, Control V, go to the beginning of our After Effects and Control V, as well as our icon. Click on it. Make sure you're at the beginning of each one, because that's where you want it to be invisible and start to fade in. So if I go here and then paste it, it will only start to fade in from this point. We want it to fade in right here, so we paste it in right there. Just keep that in mind. Okay, so now if you're pasting keyframes, it won't automatically drop down, so you can just go and check each individual one. If you want to play around and make the After Effects come in a bit faster than the others, then you just take the keyframe and you move it down. So the welcome to will be 1 second, and After Effects will be less than half a second. Okay, so you guys can play around with whatever looks good to you. Alright, so now we want to have them all fade out together at the end. So now instead of doing one and then copying it to the rest, we can actually just do it all at the same time. So you can click, you can hold down Shift and click from your top to your bottom, or you can just hold down Control and select each one. Now you only need to drop down one option, one of your elements. The first transform, add a keyframe, go to the end where you want it to be completely invisible and make it 0. And as you can see, if you scroll down, everything will have gotten the same treatment. So all of your elements will fade out and be invisible at the exact same time. Okay, you can just click and collapse all of these now. So now what do we have? We have our nice fade in effect. We can play it back to see what it looks like. And there it fades out. We can make the fade out time a little bit longer. So we can just drop down our transforms for each of the words here. Click on our little diamonds by holding down shift to select multiple, and then you can just drag them back. So now they will fade out at a longer duration. Okay, then we can just collapse in once more. So now let's have a quick look. Okay, great. So all that's left to do is to make our thumbs up have a little shine. As it becomes visible, it shines up a little bit and then fades out. So this will be our first effect. So we'll just click on the layer. You'll right click, we'll go to effects, and you'll see our glow effect here. As well as you can go to effects and presets and type in glow. Just drag it over the actual object. That's one way of doing it. The other way is to right click, go down to stylize, and click on glow. Okay, so you're going to come to where it isn't fading in. You want to work on it when it's fully visible, so we can see what our glow is going to look like. So we'll up our glow radius to quite a large number, and our threshold maybe about 20%. Okay, and we'll make this 550. Okay, so that's our maximum glow. So we would want to now drop down our thumbs up and go to drop down the effects, and here is our current effects. So we have the glow, which we're going to drop down, and we want our glow intensity to start. So you'll click on the stopwatch and you'll make it 0 because we don't want it to immediately be glowing. So as it's fading in here, we want it to reach its maximum glow amount right about here. We'll come and we'll make it 1. So now as you can see, as it fades in, gives it a nice glow, and then we can fade it out over the course of about 2 seconds. So then we'll just come here and set it to 0. So now if you go through it, you'll see it comes in and it shines, and then the glow effect fades away, and then it fades away completely. So we can just collapse all of these options now, and we can tell it to render. Just so you guys know, if you see this green bar, that means that portion is fully rendered, and these still need to be rendered. So once you've clicked your RAM preview, it will first render everything, and then it will play it at the correct speed. You can also tell it to render at full quality, or half the quality, or third of the quality, to save time. So if you're working with 3D, for instance, you're working with very advanced 3D, you would probably render it only at a third of the quality to see what it might look like. So it would just save time. But we'll just leave it at full quality, play back our video, welcome to After Effects, with a nice little glow, and then everything fades out. So that is pretty much it for the bare minimum. In the next lesson we'll start doing some more exciting things, so hope to see you guys there, and I hope you guys are learning something. Thanks.